Our busy and often overscheduled lives leave us very little time to be still, to pause, to take stock, to sit quietly with ourselves and with our breath. This practice is designed to take a moment of stillness, respite from an over-busy day, to simply sit quietly, to focus on our breath. Find a seated position that suits you best, whether you're kneeling, sitting cross-legged, or quietly on a chair with feet grounded. Draw up to your full height. Close your eyes. Consciously unclench your teeth to relax your jaw. Focus your internal gaze on the space just above the two eyebrows on the center of your forehead. Soften and erase any residual trace of a frown now from your brow. You can either let your hands rest on your lap or place the palms of your hands on your side ribs, whereby you can then use your hands as a tactile guide to draw the breath into the side body as well as into your belly and chest. However you feel comfortable now, bring your hands to that position and take your first conscious breath. Watch as the breath travels up through the nasal pathways to fill your belly, fill your chest. Then watch as the breath departs, pours out through the nostrils, and notice how now the breath has been warmed by the lungs. Not forcing the breath or imposing your will on the breath, not rushing, just being present to each breath as it enters your body, and being aware of each breath as it departs. Notice the feelings and sensations associated with breathing in and slowly breathing out. Deeply breathing in and slowly breathing out. If your mind starts to drift, acknowledge it's happening and patiently bring your mind back to your breath. You might also like to try subtly constricting the muscles within your throat, creating a very soft and evocative sound with your breath, a sound that evokes the sound of the sea in a cave, or the sound of the wind blowing through the branches of the trees. This technique is called Ujjayi breath, or victorious breath, or I like to call it ocean breath, because it does so much remind me of the sound of the sea. And images of the sea have always brought up very soothing, calming feelings and emotions for me. As you do, constrict the muscles of your throat and thin the pathway through which the breath travels and create that soft and evocative sound. It gives your mind something tangible to latch onto and has a soothing, sedative effect on your mind and on your body's nervous systems. Either way, allow yourself to remain anchored in each breath, each movement of breath as it enters your body and as it leaves. As you become more and more engrossed in the simple fact that you're breathing, now begin to acknowledge what happens right at the end of an in-breath before the exhalation begins. Notice the subtle pause right at the top of the in-breath, and then notice as the exhale travels breath right out through the nose, what happens right at the end of the exhalation before the urge to inhale bubbles up inside you again without you forcing it to happen. Notice the fullness of each inhale, and notice the pause at the top of the inhale before you exhale. And then notice the pause at the bottom of the exhale before you inhale again. Notice the gap. Now see what happens if you extend the pause at the top of the inhale. And then silently in your mind, count to 3. Then allow the exhalation to take place again, slow and steady. And right at the bottom of the exhale, suspend on empty, and again silently in your mind count to 3. And when the urge to inhale bubbles up inside, fill your body with breath right up to the brim, and pause and silently count to 3 again. As you cease, breath retention and breath suspension, sit quietly as you resume breathing naturally once again. Allow your natural breath to move in and out of your body through your nose. Your natural and spontaneous breath. And allow yourself time to simply reflect now upon how you feel. Notice any subtle changes to the way in which you feel mentally, emotionally. Notice any subtle changes to the way that you feel physically, energetically. Notice whether perhaps, just fleetingly, you can tap into something very deep within that resembles bliss.